Well, good day to you, fine folks. I'm Alexander, your congenial host, here to sprinkle some pizzazz into your day straight from the marvelous world of Witworks. Hope you're all riding high on those good vibes today. Now, let's talk about our sponsor, the powerhouse known as Gizmo League. Think of them as the tech Avengers, dishing out gadgets and gaming gear that scream, "Welcome to the future." They're the reason we're all gathered here. So let's give them a cheer, shall we? Visit www.gizmoleague.com post-show for your dose of awesome. And now, on to today's juiciest tale, Top 10 Eco-Friendly Cars That Contribute to Pollution. Introduction. In the quest for greener living and reducing our carbon footprints, eco-friendly cars have become the poster child for environmentally conscious transportation. However, not all eco-friendly vehicles are created equal. Surprisingly, some of them still manage to contribute to pollution, albeit in less obvious ways, whether it's manufacturing processes, disposal of batteries, or the fine print in emissions testing. These cars make you wonder if they're really as green as they claim. Here's a humorous take on the top 10 eco-friendly cars that might not be so friendly after all. 1. Tesla Model S. Ah, the Tesla Model S. The electric dream machine that's got everyone swooning. Picture this. You're cruising down the street, and all you hear is the wind, because the engine's as quiet as a ninja on tiptoes. It's like driving a spaceship, but quieter. But hold on to your eco-friendly hats, because making those fancy batteries? Not exactly a walk in the park. We're talking about a process that guzzles up energy like a teenager on a growth spurt. Mining lithium and cobalt for those bad boys? Let's just say it's not exactly a spa day for Mother Nature. We're talking heavy-duty mining operations that could rival a superhero's origin story in drama. And hey, when those batteries finally kick the bucket, it's not like you can toss them in the nearest recycling bin. Disposing of them is like solving a puzzle from hell, a conundrum that's got environmentalists and engineers scratching their heads. But hey, on the bright side, or should we say the green side, at least you're not contributing to the smog when you're stuck in rush hour traffic. So, small victories, right? But let's not kid ourselves. Driving a Tesla isn't just about saving the planet. It's about feeling like you've stepped into the future. It's like being Tony Stark without the Iron Man suit, unless Elon Musk decides to start making those too. The sleek design, the high-tech interior, it's enough to make even the most die-hard petrol heads do a double take. And let's face it, the acceleration? It's like being launched out of a cannon, minus the whiplash. Sure, there are skeptics out there who'll give you the side eye about the environmental cost of making those batteries. They'll talk your ear off about carbon footprints and sustainability reports. But when you're behind the wheel, gliding down the road with that silent electric purr, it's hard not to get caught up in the magic. It's like driving with a guilty pleasure, knowing that maybe, just maybe, you're helping pave the way to a greener future. So, next time you see a Tesla Model S zipping by, take a moment to appreciate the contradictions wrapped up in that sleek electric package. It's luxury with a conscience, innovation with a hint of compromise. And who knows, maybe one day we'll crack the code on those batteries and make the whole process as clean as a whistle. Until then, buckle up and enjoy the ride. The future's electric, whether we're ready for all its quirks or not. 2. Toyota Prius. Ah, the Toyota Prius, the hybrid darling that hit the streets like a trend-setting eco-warrior. Back in its heyday, rolling up in a Prius was like saying, "Hey, I care about the planet, but I also enjoy saving some gas money, thank you very much." It's that sweet spot of looking environmentally woke while quietly patting yourself on the back for the savings. Let's break it down. This car isn't just about looking sleek and whispering sweet nothings to polar bears. It's got the stats to back up the eco-friendly street cred. The mileage? Impressive. Like, I could drive from New York to LA and still have gas left for a scenic drive through Big Sur. Impressive. And those emissions? Lower than your aunt's expectations of your dating life. It's the kind of car that makes you feel like you're leaving a trail of clean air and envy in your wake. But hold your compost bin. There's a catch. Those fancy hybrid batteries that power this green machine? They ain't exactly a walk in the park to produce. We're talking more energy than it takes to convince your cat to take a bath. And when those batteries finally decide to kick the bucket, they don't gracefully fade away into eco-friendly oblivion. Nope. They hang around like that last guest at a party who just won't leave. You can't just toss them in your backyard compost and hope they'll turn into some fertilizer gold. Sorry, Mother Nature, but Prius batteries have other plans. So, while you're cruising past gas stations with a smug grin and mentally calculating how much you're saving on fuel, just remember, there's a bit of an eco-debt to pay down the road. It's like buying organic veggies wrapped in non-recyclable plastic. There's some good, but there's also some eyebrow-raising irony. But hey, let's give credit where it's due. The Prius did what few cars could. It made driving a hybrid cool. It's like the hipster of the car world, eco before it was cool, sipping fuel when everyone else was guzzling. And whether you're in it for the planet saving or just the practicality of fewer gas stops, there's something undeniably charming about a car that lets you do your part without sacrificing style. Well, maybe just a little. So, here's to you, Toyota Prius. You may have your quirks, but you've earned your spot in the eco-conscious Hall of Fame. Drive on, you beacon of hybrid glory. Just maybe pack a spare bag for those batteries when they decide to retire. They might need a vacation from all that eco-saving action. 3. Nissan Leaf. Ah, the Nissan Leaf, the electric vehicle that promises guilt-free cruising while saving the planet one whisper-quiet mile at a time. It's like driving a marshmallow cloud, isn't it? But hey, before you start feeling like Captain Planet, let's peel back a layer or two. Sure, the Leaf emits zero tailpipe emissions, which is fantastic news for the local air quality and your eco-conscience. No more grimacing at that black cloud puffing out of your neighbor's exhaust pipe. However, there's this little detail about where the Leaf gets its juice. Those charging stations aren't plugged into some magical renewable energy tree. Nope, they're usually sipping power from the same grid that lights up your neighborhood, which might just trace its lineage back to a less-than-green power plant. Picture a big, burly coal plant somewhere out there in the wilds, chugging away like a grumpy old man with a steady supply of coal. Meanwhile, here you are, zooming by in your Leaf, feeling all eco-smug. It's like the ultimate game of environmental hide-and-seek, out of sight, out of mind, right? But hey, don't cancel your Leaf love affair just yet. There's more to this tale. See, even though the Leaf indirectly leans on less eco-friendly power plants, it's still doing its part by slashing local emissions. It's like the eco version of wearing SPF, protecting yourself from immediate harm while the bigger picture sorts itself out. And let's face it, the Leaf's silent hum is a sweet symphony compared to the raspy growl of a gas guzzler. It's the ninja of the automotive world, sneaking up on you at crosswalks without a peep. That alone deserves some credit, right? Plus, think of the perks. No more dreading that trip to the gas station, no more smelly hands from pumping gas, or risking an impromptu bonfire by accidentally dragging your feet on the carpet. So, while the Leaf isn't completely off the hook in the grand scheme of Mother Earth's green dreams, it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's like trading in your hamburger for a veggie patty. Not perfect, but hey, less guilt with your meal. In the end, driving a Leaf means embracing a bit of give and take with the planet. It's about celebrating progress while nudging the powers that be toward cleaner energy sources. And if nothing else, it's a darn smooth ride that lets you feel good about your commute without the usual cloud of guilt hanging over your head, unless, of course, you're parked under one of those coal plant smokestacks. Then you might want to reconsider your parking spot. 4. Chevrolet Volt. Ah, the Chevrolet Volt, the hybrid wonder that promises the best of both worlds, electricity and good old gasoline. It's like that friend who tries to juggle two parties on a Saturday night and ends up half-drunkenly crashing both. But hey, props to Chevy for trying to please everyone, right? So, imagine this. You've got this sleek-looking car that runs on electricity for your daily commute, silently zipping through the streets like a ninja in the night. It's all quiet and green, making you feel like you're saving the planet 1 mile at a time. But wait, there's more. When your adventurous spirit calls for a road trip or you forget to charge it, Fear not. The gasoline engine revs up like a dependable sidekick from an 80s action flick, ready to take you on that spontaneous journey to the mountains or grandma's house, whichever comes first. But here's the rub. While you're patting yourself on the back for being eco-friendly, let's not forget the fine print. Yes, maintaining two power systems means more bits and bobs to manufacture and eventually kiss goodbye to. It's like having two pets that both need grooming, feeding, and an occasional trip to the mechanic. Double the trouble, double the fun, right? And let's talk about those emissions. That gasoline engine might as well be puffing out mini thunderclouds of CO2, raining on your eco parade. Sure, it's not as bad as those gas-guzzling SUVs from the 90s, but it's still not doing your local air quality any favors. It's like trying to save the ozone layer with a squirt gun. Nice effort, but we might need a bigger hose. But hey, let's give credit where it's due. The Volt is like that overachiever in high school who was captain of the chess club and star quarterback. It's efficient, it's versatile, and it tries to balance being green with being practical. It's the car that screams, "Why choose when you can have it all?" Well, except maybe for a noise-free drive on those gasoline-powered moments. But hey, nothing's perfect. In the end, driving a Volt is like being in a relationship with someone who's constantly trying to be everything to everyone, a bit complicated, but admirably ambitious. So, if you're in the market for a car that's part eco-warrior, part gas guzzler, and all-around versatile, the Volt might just be your ride. Just remember to charge it up and brace yourself for the occasional emissions guilt trip. 5. BMW i3. Ah, the BMW i3, BMW's grand entrance into the electric car game. It's like the car version of that trendy new vegan cafe in town. Futuristic, eco-friendly vibes all around. Picture this, you're cruising down the street in what looks like a concept car that time-traveled from 2030. The i3 isn't just another car, it's a statement piece. It screams, "I care about the planet, but I also love turning heads." Let's talk design. The i3's got that funky, avant-garde thing going on. It's like BMW threw a bunch of triangles and swooshes together and somehow made it work. If cars could wear thick-framed glasses and sip artisanal lattes, the i3 would be leading the pack. And those sustainable materials? They're the real deal, folks. BMW went all in on eco-friendliness, at least in theory. But hold up. Before you start imagining fields of solar panels powering the i3's assembly line, let's peek behind the curtain. Turns out, making an electric car still takes a lot of juice. Energy-intensive manufacturing processes are like that one relative who overstays their welcome at family gatherings. They just won't leave. So while your i3 might run on electrons instead of gas, it's not exactly a breeze to produce. And those swanky carbon fiber reinforced plastic panels? Oh boy, they're the crown jewel of the i3's design. Picture yourself at a fancy party where everyone's wearing clothes made from recycled newspapers. Innovative, but still a bit puzzling. These panels are light, strong, and sleek, like the James Bond of car parts. But let's not kid ourselves. They aren't exactly plucked from the renewable forest of BMW's backyard. It's more like they come from a high-tech lab where scientists mix potions and perform wizardry. So, what's the verdict on the i3? Well, it's a paradox wrapped in an enigma, dressed in sustainable couture. It's the electric car equivalent of buying organic vegetables wrapped in plastic. It's good for the earth until you peel back the layers. But hey, at least BMW's trying, right? They've taken a bold step toward greener transportation, even if there's a bit of greenwashing mixed in. In the end, driving an i3 isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's about making a statement, starting conversations, and maybe even raising an eyebrow or two. So hop in, buckle up, and embrace the future, funky design, sustainable quirks, and all. After all, who said saving the planet couldn't be stylish? 6. Ford Fusion Hybrid. Ah, the Ford Fusion Hybrid, a car that promises to be as versatile as a Swiss Army knife, but with wheels. Picture this, you're cruising down the highway, feeling all eco-friendly because your car switches between gas and electric power like a gourmet chef flipping pancakes. It's like having your cake and eating it too, except the cake is fuel efficiency, and the eating part is when you realize you still have to deal with those pesky hybrid batteries. Sure, the Fusion Hybrid whispers sweet nothings about saving the planet 1 gallon at a time. But here's the kicker. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Those batteries, while they make your mileage soar like a bald eagle on Red Bull, have a dirty little secret. They're not made out of fairy dust and dreams. They're made from materials that come with their own baggage of environmental impact. So, while you're patting yourself on the back for being green, Mother Earth might just be giving you the side eye. Think of it as a cosmic seesaw. On one end, you've got fewer tailpipe emissions and more nods of approval from your Prius driving neighbors. On the other end, though, there's a stack of battery production emissions and the looming question of what happens when those batteries kick the bucket. It's like being in an environmental version of The Good Place, where every decision has unintended consequences. Now, don't get me wrong. The Fusion Hybrid isn't the villain in this story. It's more like the complicated anti-hero who's trying to do the right thing but ends up in a murky gray area. It's a bit like that friend who always brings up politics at dinner, well-intentioned, but ultimately causing a stir. So, next time you see a Fusion Hybrid cruising by, give it a nod of respect for trying to strike that delicate balance between emissions and efficiency. Just remember, behind that sleek exterior and impressive MPG, there's a whole ecosystem of pros and cons duking it out like it's a championship boxing match. In the end, whether it's truly as green as it seems might just depend on which side of the seesaw you're willing to tip towards. But hey, isn't that the beauty of progress? We learn, we adapt, and we debate over dinner about whether hybrids are the future or just a passing fad. In the meantime, enjoy the ride, whether you're in a gas-guzzling muscle car or a hybrid that's trying to save the world, one conflicted battery charge at a time. 7. Honda Insight. The Honda Insight, where eco-friendliness meets the realities of global supply chains and the occasional dark side of battery components. This car isn't just another set of wheels, it's a symbol of Honda's plunge into hybrid territory. Picture this, you're cruising down the highway, feeling all virtuous about your reduced carbon footprint, when suddenly your friend pipes up from the back seat, "Hey, have you thought about the nickel in those batteries?" Sure, the Insight boasts impressive fuel efficiency and emits fewer greenhouse gases than its gas-guzzling counterparts. It's like the Prius's slightly quieter cousin at the family reunion, with just enough eco-cred to make you feel like you're saving the planet, one tank of gas, or charge, at a time. But let's not get too starry-eyed just yet. There's a whole saga behind the scenes. First, there's the manufacturing. Sure, those eco-friendly components sound great on paper, but have you ever wondered how much energy it takes to produce and ship them around the globe? It's like trying to diet by eating only organic kale that's been air freighted from halfway across the world. Sure, it's healthy, but is it really saving the planet when you consider the carbon footprint of that flight? And speaking of components, let's talk batteries. The nickel. It's not just the stuff of 5-cent coins anymore. It's a key player in those shiny lithium-ion batteries that power your hybrid dreams. But here's the kicker, mining nickel isn't exactly a walk in the park. It's more like a marathon through a dusty, potentially hazardous landscape that's not always great for the folks doing the mining. So while you're feeling all smug about your eco-conscious ride, spare a thought for those workers whose health might be taking a hit for your battery-powered bliss. But hey, don't let these sobering thoughts rain on your hybrid parade. The Insight is still a step in the right direction. It's like the veggie burger of the automotive world. Maybe not as juicy as a beefy V8, but definitely better for the planet, and probably easier on your wallet at the pump. So, next time you see an Insight on the road, give it a nod of appreciation for trying to do its part. It's not perfect, but then again, neither are any of us. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll figure out how to make cars that run on pure goodwill and sunshine. Until then, enjoy the ride, and maybe consider carpooling whenever you can. 8. Mercedes-Benz EQC. The Mercedes-Benz EQC, where luxury meets the electric highway. Mercedes decided to dip its well-heeled toe into the electric carpool with this one, promising all the opulence you'd expect from a Benz, but with a green twist. Picture this. You're lounging in sumptuous leather seats, surrounded by gleaming screens and futuristic gizmos, feeling like you've just stepped into a sci-fi flick set in a five-star hotel. Sounds dreamy, right? But hold your eco-friendly horses, because behind that plush interior and those advanced gadgets lies a bit of an inconvenient truth. Turns out, making these high-end electric chariots isn't exactly a walk in the park for Mother Nature. We're talking about a hefty environmental price tag here, folks. Think of it like when you splurge on a fancy organic salad, only to find out it was shipped from halfway across the globe in a jet fueled by unicorn tears. Kinda defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Let's break it down. First off, before the EQC even starts taking shape, there's the small matter of mining all those raw materials. Cue scenes of heavy machinery tearing through mountainsides in search of lithium, cobalt, and other exotic minerals. It's like a high-stakes treasure hunt, except instead of gold doubloons, you're digging for stuff that'll power your electric ride. Then comes the manufacturing process itself, which, surprise, surprise, guzzles up more energy than your cousin Eddie at an all-you-can-eat buffet. We're talking about factories humming with the electricity equivalent of a small town, churning out those glossy Mercedes beauties. It's enough to make even Captain Planet shed a tear into his biodegradable superhero cape. Now, don't get me wrong, the EQC isn't just another pretty face in the electric car lineup. It's a testament to human ingenuity and engineering prowess. Mercedes has pulled out all the stops to blend luxury with a greener footprint, like a tech-savvy debutante at an environmental gala. But let's face it, being green isn't always as straightforward as swapping your plastic straw for a bamboo one. So, while you're cruising down the road in your EQC, basking in the lap of electric luxury, just remember the journey that got you there. It's a tale of contradictions and complexities, where the quest for a greener tomorrow sometimes involves a few less than green steps today. But hey, at least you're doing it in style, right? 9. Kia Niro Plug-in Hybrid. Ah, the Kia Niro Plug-in Hybrid, the car that promises you the best of both worlds, efficiency and practicality. It's like having your cake and eating it too, but with wheels. You know, the kind that won't leave crumbs all over your back seat. So, here's the deal. Kia's Niro plug-in hybrid isn't just any car, it's a master juggler. It dances between electric and gas power like a pro on a unicycle, keeping you guessing which fuel it's sipping on at any given moment. Efficiency? Check. Practicality? Double check. But hey, let's be real. Playing with two power sources means more parts under the hood. It's like having a Swiss Army knife of engines, versatile, but also potentially more stuff to keep track of when it comes time for maintenance. Now, those batteries, they're the heart of the electric side of this hybrid affair. Sure, they'll last you a while, but let's not overlook their eco-credentials. They're like the vegans of the car world, boasting about their low emissions and saving the planet one silent drive at a time. But wait, there's a catch. While they're busy being all environmentally conscious on the road, those batteries have a life cycle that's worth considering. Manufacturing them isn't exactly a walk in the park, more like a stroll through a complex industrial park, and disposing of them responsibly when their time is up, well, let's just say it's not as simple as tossing out yesterday's coffee cup. But fear not, eco-warriors. The Kia Niro plug-in hybrid still shines bright in the grand scheme of things. It's a testament to modern engineering, blending the practicality of a hybrid with a touch of environmental consciousness. It's the kind of car you can feel good about driving to work or on a road trip, knowing you're doing your part to reduce your carbon tire print. See what I did there? So, whether you're drawn to its sleek design, its tech-savvy interior, or simply the allure of whisper-quiet electric mode, the Niro plug-in hybrid has something for everyone. Just remember, every car, even the hybrids, has its quirks. But isn't that part of the fun? Embrace the hybrid life, my friends. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey, especially when that journey involves a car that's as versatile as it is eco-friendly. Drive on, and may your fuel efficiency be high and your parallel parking skills be even higher. 10. Audi e-tron. Ah, the Audi e-tron, the electric SUV that's making waves in the automotive world. Picture this. You're cruising down the road in something that whispers luxury and sustainability in the same breath. The e-tron is like that fancy brunch spot you love. It looks good, feels good, but you know deep down that there's some serious behind-the-scenes work and a hefty bill waiting to be paid. Let's break it down like we're dissecting last night's reality TV episode. The e-tron, first off, is all about style. It's sleek, it's modern, it's basically what you'd get if you combined a spaceship and a really posh sofa. Audi definitely didn't skimp on the aesthetic appeal. Because hey, if you're going electric, might as well do it in style, right? Pulling up in an e-tron is like arriving at a party with a designer bag. You know, heads are turning. But here's the twist. For all its eco-friendly vibes, there's a bit of a paradox lurking under that hood. Manufacturing those high-end components? Let's just say it takes some serious energy. We're talking enough electricity to power a small town just to get those wheels rolling. So while you're patting yourself on the back for going green, there's a little environmental bill being racked up somewhere off stage. It's like ordering a salad at a burger joint. It's good for you, but the water used to grow those organic tomatoes could probably fill a swimming pool. And then there's the ongoing saga of charging the thing. You can't escape the fact that all those electrons have to come from somewhere. Sure, you're not belching out exhaust fumes on the daily, but your e-tron is quietly sipping juice from the grid. Depending on where you live, that could mean anything from pristine wind power to coal-fired electricity that's been around since your grandma was a kid. It's like wearing vegan leather. You're doing your best to be ethical, but someone's bound to ask where the fabric came from. So, what's the verdict? The Audi e-tron is undeniably a head-turner, a smooth operator on the road of sustainability. But behind that sleek facade lies a reminder that every choice, even the eco-friendly ones, comes with a bit of a footprint. It's the price tag of progress, the eco-tax we pay for wanting to have our planet and drive on it too. So go ahead, enjoy the ride, but maybe keep a plant in your car to offset those manufacturing vibes. You know, just to keep things balanced in the universe. Conclusion. While these eco-friendly cars may seem like the knights in shining armor of the automotive world, it's essential to look beyond their green credentials. The journey towards sustainability involves considering the entire life cycle of a vehicle, from production to disposal. Whether it's mining lithium, managing hybrid batteries, or assessing the true carbon footprint of charging, every eco-friendly choice comes with its own set of compromises. So, the next time you admire a sleek electric vehicle silently gliding by, remember that even the greenest cars can have a hidden impact on our planet. It's all about balancing our needs with the environment's well-being, 1 mile at a time. Well, folks, that's a wrap for today. Here at Whitworks Studios, we thrive on the love and loyalty of sharp cookies like you. If you're up for the VIP treatment, think red carpets, exclusive podcasts, and supporting our creative shenanigans, why not swing by our premium subscribers club? You've got the smarts, so no GPS needed. But before you zoom off to conquer the world with your newfound wisdom, a big shout out to our buddies at Gizmo League. These tech wizards are the real heroes, making this podcast happen and serving up gadget magic right to your ears. If you're craving some serious gadget goodness, check them out at www.gizmoleague.com. Until next time, keep that curiosity alive and stay awesome. Peace out.